Welcome, this is Wargamer Sean. I'm back to talk to you more about Craftworlds Eldar, or Eldar, Codex Eldar Craftworlds. Today we're going to do the fast attack section, so let's get to it. So the first entry for the fast attack section is the Wave Serpent now. So now the Wave Serpent is a fast attack option. Similar to all the other codices they've been doing, it's start of 7th edition, so the orcs kind of started it where they got their trucks, were fast attack slots, and sorry, my cat was doing stuff, and rhinos and razorbacks are transports and drop pods and stuff for Space Marines. So I'm not surprised that the Wave Serpent is a fast attack choice. It did change, which we kind of figured was going to happen. It's come stock with Twin Link Shuriken Cannon and Twin Link Shuriken Catapult Underslung, and then Serpent Shield. Transport capacity is 12 like before. Fire access points none. Access points on the back, 1 rear access point. The Wave Serpent is Bliss Skill 4. Front side rear armor. Front side armor is 12, rear armor is 10. 3 hull points. It's a tank, a fast skimmer transport vehicle. It can exchange its Twin Linked Shuriken Cannon for one of the following. So it can take Twin Link Bright Lances for 5 points, Twin Link Scatter Lasers for 5 points, Twin Link Star Cannons for 5 points, Twin Linked Eldar Missile Launchers for 15 points. I don't, even in the last incarnation too, I don't understand why there's such a heavy tax on the missile launcher. In the previous incarnations it wasn't, it was the Bright Lance, which is the most expensive. I don't understand when everything else is 5 points, why the Eldar Missile Launcher is 10 more points. I don't get it. I would never take it for that. I mean, honestly, I just don't see the point. You can take the exchange the Twin Link Shuriken Catapult for a Shuriken Cannon, the underslung one, for 10 points. It's the same price as before, and it can take Eldar vehicle equipment. Now the Serpent Shield is what changed from the last incarnation, and in this incarnation, the Serpent Shield, it basically takes all penetrating hits inflicted on the front or side armor of the vehicle are dropped to glancing hits on a d6 roll of 2+. Once per game, the Serpent Shield can be used as a weapon, so it's only once per game, which I figured that was going to happen in the shooting phase with the following profile, and treat this as a hull-mounted weapon that is pointed forward. So it's 24-inch range instead of 72-inch range now, so it's very short range. Strength 6 instead of Strength 7. AP dash like before. Now it's Assault 2d6. It used to be d6 plus 1. Now it's 2d6. Ignores cover and 1 use only in Strike Down. So basically they're moving through as if they're moving through dangerous or difficult terrain the next turn, which most people forget to use that rule anyway. For the remainder of the battle, after shooting attack has been resolved, all subsequent hits against the vehicle are treated as if the vehicle did not have a Serpent Shield. So basically the Serpent Shield's gone after they shoot it once. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me why they made it go away. I don't see why it couldn't still have the buffs. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm a little disappointed that they kind of hit it as hard as they did. I don't think the shooting attack's terrible. Once per game I think is fair. I'm not complaining about that because I think the vehicle was, the Serpent Shield was a little too strong last edition, and Laser Lock really made it good. But I think it got nerfed a little bit too much, in my opinion. You know, people that are hating on the Eldar Codex are going to hate me for that comment. I just, in my opinion, I think it's a little harsh. Now, I just had a game tonight I got done with really early. Normally I don't get done for an hour or two more, but I just had a game against Grey Knights and Tigurius and Space Marines and the new Imperial Knight that's in the new White Dwarf, which I'll do a review on. And I played Eldar and like an alliance with Dark Eldar for some webway portals, and I basically got tabled. I basically quit after I had one fire dragon running at the end of a turn. I mean, he was going to die the next turn, so I just kind of conceded at that point. So anybody that says that they're overly broken, I think people are going to learn pretty quickly that they're not. But that's my opinion. Anyway, the other things that you can buy for it, the Crystal Targeting Matrix is one use only on a non-walker vehicle. It can fire one weapon at the full bliss skill after moving flat out in the shooting phase, which is, potentially decent. I mean, you could potentially put that on and use your Serpent Shield and shoot something. So it's potentially useful. Ghost Walk Matrix, it basically has move through cover special rule. Holo Fields, instead of adding +1 to the cover, it now is a 5+ invulnerable save, unless it's immobilized. I kind of saw that coming since Harlequins had that with their vehicles, so I kind of had a feeling that the 5+ invulnerable save was going to happen. Mind Shock Pod, the enemy within 12 inches of a model equipped with a Mind Shock Pod subtract 2 from their leadership when taking morale, pinning, or fear tests. Power Field is a 5+ invulnerable save, and that's what the Warwalkers have. So they're the only ones that can have it. Spirit Stones, ignore a crew shaken result on a roll of 2+, and ignore a crew stunned result on a 4+. Roll immediately after the result is suffered. Star Engines, you can move 24 inches flat out instead of the normal 18 inches. And Walker can, instead runs 3 additional inches, so it's D6 plus 3 inches. Vectored Engines, unless it's immobilized, a vehicle with this upgrade can pivot to face any direction immediately after resolving its shooting attack in the shooting phase. So it's kind of cool, like you can shoot something and then turn, so if you wanted to face a different direction after you get done shooting, you could do that with the Vectored Engines. So that's a little bit of a change, which is kind of cool. So that's all the vehicle upgrades. I don't think we talked about those earlier. The Wave Serpent's 110 points, and then the upgrades are 10 for the cannon, underslung are 5, 5, 5, and 15 points for the above weapons. I think honestly most of the time you probably want to either leave it alone or honestly take the Bright Lances, because the Bright Lances are pretty good. The next fast attack entry is the Swooping Hawks. They're 80 points for 5 models. They're 16 points apiece. You can upgrade the one to an Exarch for 10 points. The Exarch can take a Hawk's Talon for 10 points or a Sun Rifle for 15 points. The Sun Rifle last edition got worse, and I think it's still the same. The Sun Rifle is Assault 3 Blind, Strength 3, AP 3. Now the AP is better, it's AP 3, but still Strength 3 isn't that great. It's the strength of the Las Blaster, except it's got Blind, and it's AP 3 instead of 5. Hawk's Talon is 24-inch, Strength 5, AP 5, Assault 3. I like the Hawk's Talon, and it's a little cheaper, but I usually just don't put anything on my Exarch. I just leave them with the Las Blaster, because I'm usually taking the extra so that they don't scatter when they deep strike, and I can use his ballistic skill when I'm throwing my grenade, or using my grenade attack. So Swooping Hawk Exarch may take a power weapon for 10 points, which is cheap for power weapons, but I still don't see why you'd really want to do that. They have Intercept, so at the end of the movement phase, a model with a special rule can make one attack against an enemy flyer or flying monstrous creature that it moved over that turn. The attack hits on a roll of 4+, and is resolved at Strength 4, AP 4, with the Haywire special rule. Flyers are hit on their side armor. Herald of Victory. The Herald of Victory unit that contains at least one model with this special rule does not scatter when it arrives via deep strike. And the grenade pack for the Swooping Hawk, that is if you have 6 or more models you get to use a large blast. Otherwise, it's just a blast, and it is barrage, and it's assault 1, ignores cover, skyburst, a strength 4, AP 4. So that is the Swooping Hawks. So I think they got a little better this time. And then once again, the Exarchs have 2 wounds, remember, which is nice. The next fast attack entry are the Warp Spiders, and they're 95 points for 5 of them, and they're 19 points a model. One may be upgraded to an Exarch for 10 points. The Exarch may take a Twin Link Death Spinner for 5 points, although he's weapon skill and ballistic skill 5. And if you put him in an aspect formation, he's 6. So twin linked, maybe. I kind of I missed the double web spinners. Those were nice, but and then Spinneret Rifle. That one is Spinneret Rifle is 18 inches instead of 12, and it's Strength 6, AP 1, Rapid Fire Monofilament. So if you basically it's automatically AP 1, and so in normal monofilament, if you roll a 6, it becomes AP 2. Otherwise, it's either AP Dash for Death Spinner or some of the other like Shadow Weaver and Doom Weavers are AP 6. Now the Death Spinners are 2 shots, Assault. And the Spinneret Rifle's rapid fire. 18 inches is nice, so at 9 inches you're getting 2 shots. The Exarch may take Power Blades for 20 points. The 15 points for the Spinneret Rifle may be worth it because it's AP 1, so you're guaranteed to get that. And it's Monofilament, Strength 6. Monofilament, when you're rolling to wound for a weapon that has this special rule, you use the target's initiative instead of the toughness. So note that the model's toughness is used to determine whether it's instant death or not. So the nice thing is even Eldar, let's say most Eldar are initiative 5, and so this is strength 6, so you're still wounding them on 3s. So you could still take out a Wraith Knight with Warp Spiders. I thought at first, when I first heard about how they were changing the weapons, that they got nerfed. And they got nerfed a little bit against, because they used to be strength 7 against vehicles, and so against super heavies like Imperial Knights, they had a chance of taking them down because they were strength 7. Now they don't. They really can't anymore. But they got better at killing troops, in my opinion. So, because if you're rolling against initiative, you think about Necrons, they're initiative 2. You're hitting most things, really, you're wounding them on 2s, which is pretty amazing. So they have the warp jump generators. Now those changed this edition. It's important to remember. It used to be when you used your jump packs in the movement phase, you rolled 2d6 and then you added 6 to it, and that's how far you got to move. And if you rolled doubles, you lost 1 to the warp. Now it's only double 1s that you lose somebody. So it's really minimal that the risk you're going to lose somebody, whereas the risk was a lot higher that you're going to roll doubles at some point in the game. So they kind of changed that for the better, which is cool. I mean, it makes it a little less dangerous, and it makes a little bit more sense fluff-wise, because, I mean, man, if it was that common you were losing somebody, man, you'd be losing people left and right. You wouldn't have a lot of Exarchs doing it. So they have heavy aspect armor. And Death Spinner, Ancient Doom, Battle Focus, Fleet, Hit and Run. So the Hit and Run is nice. They got that last edition. The Flicker Jump, when a unit with this special rule is chosen as a target as a shooting attack, it may immediately make a warp jump of 2d6 instead of 6 plus 2d6, so long as it is not falling back. The firing unit cannot choose a different target, and if the target is now out of range or line of sight, after it makes the warp jump, this way, so they basically can't shoot. But if the unit makes a warp jump this way, it may not warp jump in the next movement phase. But still strong, and they still can move because they're basically jetpacks. They're considered jetpacks. They basically can still move the assault move 2d6. So they're still really strong, and they got a little more like survivable. I think it's good. I think they're still good, and they're still the same points, and they're a little better, so I'm pretty happy about it. If you do upgrade the Exarch, they have Iron Resolve, the Exarch only, and a model that has this automatically passes pinning, fear, and regroup tests and morale tests. So basically, he's going to pass morale tests and fear tests, pinning checks, regroup tests. So that's a good thing. So he's not fearless, but kind of the next best thing. So it's pretty exciting. I like them. Shining Spears. That's the next fast attack group. They got a little better too, I think. I don't know how often you're going to see them still, but I think they're still a little better. They're 75 points for 3 of them, and they're 25 points apiece instead of like they're 17 for the. I apologize. I can't even remember how much the bikes are in general. Bikes are 17 points a pop. These guys are 25 points, so they're 8 points more. They are equipped with laser lance and an Eldar jet bike, so they have twin link shuriken catapults and heavy aspect armor, but they didn't really need heavy aspect armor because they've got the jet bike already. They have an Ancient Doom, Battle Focus, Outflank, and Skilled Rider. Skilled Rider is nice because you get +1 to your Jink if you Jink, so you basically have a 3-up Jink. Plus, if you they have Aerobatic Grace. So a model with this rule has a 4+ cover unless it remains stationary in the movement phase. So basically, they don't really have to Jink. They basically just have a 4+ cover, which is really nice. Skilled Rider is nice too because you don't care about dangerous terrain checks. So you can basically go wherever you want, and you don't have to worry about having a dangerous terrain check. So that's really good. They have Expert Hunter, and that's Exarch only. A model with this special rule re-rolls all failed to wound rolls against monstrous creatures and can choose to re-roll armor penetration rolls that do not result in penetrating hit. So that makes them pretty good. You can have up to 6 more Shining Spears, so you can have a group of 9. You can get an Exarch for 10 points, and the Exarch may exchange his laser lance for a power weapon for free. And they've got it modeled that way. You can see. Oops. Sorry, guys. I never quite know where the camera is. I don't know why you do that, honestly. I just keep what they got. Or you can take a Star Lance. Now, let's look at their weapons. So Star Lance. So Star Lance is range 6 inches, like the Laser Lance, which is 6 inches. It's Strength 8, AP 2, Assault 1 Lance, versus the Laser Lance is Strength 6, AP 3, Assault 1 Lance. And when you charge, a Laser Lance is +3 to Strength, so basically you're Strength 6 on the charge, and it's AP 3 Lance. Now, in subsequent phases, it's still the user's strength, but it's still AP 3. Now, in previous incarnations, even last edition, it was only AP 3 +3 strength on the charge. If you didn't get the charge, you were normal strength. Normal AP, which is nice. Same thing with the Star Lance. This one's +5 strength, so you're hitting at Strength 8. So you're doubling things out, and it's AP 2. That's awesome. I mean, you can take out monstrous creatures. Plus, with your reroll, you get to reroll to wound monstrous creatures or armor penetration. So Strength 8's going to wreck some shit. Sorry for the swearing there. They have Skilled Rider Outflank. I wish they had hit and run. I think they used to be able to take that. The Exarch could take it. I wish they had hit and run, because if they hit something, they could jump out and then hit something again, or turn around and hit it again. But they don't have it. That's okay, though. I still think I'm going to give the Shining Spears a chance. I think they were kind of doable last edition. I think they're more doable now, especially with the aspect group, because you could add 1 ballistic skill, or what I think would be better is adding 1 weapon skill, potentially in the assault. Although the Exarch's weapon skill 5, so he's probably hitting most guys on 3s anyway, or at least 4s. But anyway, I think they're decent. The next one is the Crimson Hunter. It's 140 points. And it has 2 Bright Lances and a Pulse Laser. Pulse Laser, Strength 8, AP 2, no Lance, and it's 2 shots. The Exarch has Precision Shots, and they have Vector Dancer. They have Sky Hunter, so when shooting at a vehicle with the flyer type, the model, this special rule re-rolls armor penetration rolls that do not cause glancing or penetrating hits. Exarch has Marksman's Eye. This model makes precision shots on a 5+ rather than a 6-up. So it's 140 points. You can upgrade to the Exarch for 20 points, so basically 160 points. And it can replace both its Bright Lances with Star Cannons for free. I don't know why the hell you would do that. I mean, yes, it's 2 shots, but Strength 6, AP 2. I'd rather just keep the single shots, have everything at Strength 8, in my opinion. Now, the cool thing is, and the problem before was, they can't take any vehicle upgrades at all. And so they had nothing that really helped increase their survivability. Now, in 7th edition, Jink got a little better. It was a 4-up Jink. But what's cool now is the formations now. You can take a formation. Let me get to it. You can take a formation that is Crimson Hunters. It's called Crimson Death, and you have to take 3 of them, and one of them must be upgraded to an Exarch. Well, whoop-de-doo, because most of the time if you had the points, man, I'd make all of them Exarchs. And it doesn't say you can't make them all Exarchs, it just says you have to make one. But here's the cool thing. So this formation is 3 Crimson Hunters. Okay, nope, that's fine. It has preferred enemy, flyers, and flying monstrous creatures. Okay, good. Now, not only now I get to reroll 1s for to shoot, to hit, and to wound. But with flyers, vehicles, I got to reroll to pen anyway, but still, it's an extra help. And it's got evasive maneuvers, so all models in this formation have a 4+ cover save. They don't even have to jink, they get a 4+ cover save. If the model chooses to jink, it can reroll cover saves until the start of its next turn. That's awesome. You know, yes, there's plenty of stuff that ignores cover. It's another way to keep them more survivable. I like it. I plan on running it. I didn't run it with my Eldar I ran tonight, but in the beginning of 6 when they came out, I was running them, and then when Tau came out, I wasn't. I guess Tau came out a month before Eldar, didn't it? Yeah, I guess it did. I apologize. But I guess, Tau kind of put a damper on a lot of flyers in the 6th edition because they had so much Skyfire and ignore cover that I wasn't really running them after a while. But I think I'm going to give them a try again. I mean, I think Tau aren't as popular right now. You still see them, at least in our meta, we still see it. We've got a player that's pretty diehard. I play them, but I haven't played them for a while. But there's not a lot of Tau players out there that I've run into. So I think they're worth it. Next fast attack is the Viper Squadron. Viper Squadron is same as before. Bliss skill 4, front, side, rear armor 10, 2 hull points. It's a fast open top skimmer, which they became open top last time. And it consists of 1 Viper. You can add up to 5 more Vipers for 40 points a model. So you can have a squadron of 6 Vipers. I apologize. Sorry, I guess I put it away. I thought I had my Eldar Codex here, but I don't. I thought maybe they were 50 points last time, and I don't remember. But they might have had that in a vehicle upgrade too. I think they might have had the Crystal Matrix or something, but I apologize. I don't know if exactly last, but I think they're similar. They come with a Shuriken Cannon and then a Twin-Link Shuriken Catapult underslung. You can take the Shuriken Cannon and upgrade it to the Star Cannon for 5 points, a Bright Lance for 10 points, a Scatter Laser for 10 points, and Eldar Missile Launcher for 15 points. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Your Wave Serpent, everything was 5 points, and the Eldar Missile Launcher was 15. But this one, it's 5, 10, 10, and 15. It seems kind of random that they decided to choose that for this vehicle versus the Wave Serpent, which is already a pretty good deal for what you get, and the weapon upgrades are cheaper, and they're twin-linked. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I guess whatever. Any Viper may exchange its twin-linked Shuriken Catapult underslung for a Shuriken Cannon for 10 points. That hasn't changed since even 4th edition. And it may take items from the Eldar Vehicle Equipment list. Let me see. I'm just curious if you can... I'm assuming that 5+ save can only be taken by I guess, yeah, so, I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter because, heck, the holofields actually have a 5-up invuln save. So that's almost like what a Venom has or the Harlequin stuff. So you could take holofields, but they're 15 points, making it 55 points base. And if you upgrade it to, like, say, the Star Cannon, which I think might be the best one for this guy, then you're talking... 60 points for each Viper. It might be worth it. I just don't know if it necessarily is or not. Now, if you're running the formation, the main detachment, you have to take a Viper squadron, or at least one Viper, to fulfill, because there's one of them in each of the detachments, the main detachments. So they're kind of making you take it, I think, because it wasn't a popular model. I wish if GW was making you to kind of sell models, make you buy a model, like... improve it, make it better. It didn't really get better this edition, but whatever. It's not terrible, but it's not that much better. The Hemlock Wraithfighter is another fast attack choice. It's 185 points. Now this one got 2 heavy D scythes. Once again, the D scythes are -1 on the chart, so if you roll a 1 or a 2, it doesn't do anything. And you'll never get a 6 because it's -1 on the chart. Has a Mind Shock pod and Spirit Stones automatically. The Psychic Pilot is Mastery Level 2, so it was only Mastery Level 1 before. It's Mastery Level 2, and it's got Vector Dancer. And the Wraithfighter generates powers from Demonology Sanctic, Runes of Battle, and Telepathy. So you could potentially get invisibility with it. If you wanted to cast that on it, try to keep it alive, or cast it on somebody else. So I think it may potentially see more use. I still don't think they're that great. So I don't know. I don't see them being used that much. As far as the D size, the heavy D size, let's look up their heavy D size. Are 18-inch range D, Assault 1, Blast, Distort, Scythe, or D. With Ballistic Skill 4, and I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll get played a little bit. I just don't see it being played that much. I just don't think it's that good compared to the Crimson Hunter, to be honest with you. So that concludes the fast attack slots for the new Eldar, the Codex Eldar Craftworlds. Next video, we're going to cover the heavy section, the heavy support section. And then the video after that, we're going to go through Lords of War and just kind of finishing thoughts, that sort of thing. So hopefully you've enjoyed the Codex Eldar Craftworld review. I've enjoyed doing them. I feel very passionate about the Eldar, and I'm excited to do them. I'm excited to see how they play. I don't think, honestly, that they're as earth-shatteringly game-changing or, bad as everybody thinks. Once again, I played a game tonight with my my Wraith Knight, and I didn't get first turn, unfortunately, but the guy had a Grav Centurion squad with Tigurius, so he ended up getting Ignore Cover and Prescience off, and they have more Psychic Dice than I could with the Grey Knights, and so he was able to Ignore Cover and do almost 20 wounds to me. And I mean, it ignored cover even though I had my toe in terrain in a ruin. I only got my Feel No Pain. Well, the first 10 dice I rolled, I failed enough to basically kill him off. So he basically died before he got to do anything. Now, theoretically, I could have deep struck him, and then he would have gotten 2 shots with his D cannons, and then he probably would have died the next turn. So I don't think he's as unkillable as people think. I saw another game going on where it was 2 Eldar players playing against each other, and I saw a guy using the Warp Spiders, and actually he rolled 3 6s, so he did 3 AP2 shots, and then he rolled 4 3-ups, and so that squadron of Warp Spiders basically killed the Wraith Knight just with those shots alone. So I think people are worried you're going to see so many Wraith Knights. I don't think you honestly are going to see as many of them because they went up more points, and I honestly think they're still very killable. True things that don't ignore cover and stuff like that, they are going to mess things up. But I honestly think that they're still, they're good, but I think they're very killable. I think I was at one point really thinking that the and I did a review on it before, but I thought that the Wraith Guard with the sights you wouldn't see that much of, but I do think they have a place because they do get to ignore cover on things that are like shrouded or something like that. Although invisible would still, basically they wouldn't be able to shoot at them. So I think they have their place, but I don't think you're going to see them spammed everywhere because they're pretty expensive. But anyway, I will be back with the next section, the heavy support section. Hopefully you're enjoying this. Please subscribe if you haven't and if you enjoyed the videos. Otherwise, I'll be back soon, and keep on wargaming.
Goodbye. 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 Bye-bye. Goodbye. See ya. Bye for now. Bye for now. Goodbye. I like bottoms.